Good morning, good evening, good afternoon. My name is Thomas Canarian, and you are watching another Email Academy, and we are talking about plan, send, and succeed this Black Friday, Cyber Monday, and upcoming holiday season. Hope everyone's doing pretty dang well this evening and afternoon, morning, wherever the heck in the world you are. I am joined by my two favorite email marketers and product leaders, because heck, they are amazing at what they do. Let's start down from the top. Ladies and gentlemen, we've got Natalie Lynch, the principal product manager. Natalie, good to see you. Hope all is well.
As well. Hope the same for you.
Yeah, love it, love it. All right, and ladies and gentlemen, I can get this right. Julia,
I
ladies and
forgot.
gentlemen, our senior email marketing manager at Cinch Mailjet, Julia Merliachich. I hope I got that right. I'm still trying to get it right.
Merliachich, but we won't hold it against you.
Yeah. Smacks to my hand for that. Yeah. Good to have you. Good to see you guys. All right, ladies and gentlemen, and then also really want to give a big shout out to our back end team, always making sure we are taken care of and all that fun stuff. Massive shout out to Anastasia and Mihail, and also Dale helping us out in the chat, answering some Q&A and questions and stuff like that. So a friendly reminder, yes, this is being recorded, so make sure you check your inboxes later on today, evening, morning, like I said, wherever the heck in the world you are. You can always make sure and rewatch this. You can also find it over at our Mailjet YouTube page as well. So keep an eye peeled for that, and you'll get the replay as well. I'm gonna go ahead and get out of here and let Nally and Julia take over this and do an amazing job. And I'll see y'all towards the end for Q&A.
See you soon.
Later. All right, you ready?
I'm ready. Are you ready?
Yeah, let's get started. What?
And we both clicked the button at the same time. We're both very eager to get started. So let's take it off talking about what we've got going on today on Email Academy and why it matters. So it is the holiday season among us, which is a crazy time for email. And the real question isn't whether you send emails, but if they land, get read, and drive results, right? We're sending emails, but we want to make sure they're being seen. And we're going to walk you through steps on how you can strengthen your deliverability and creating campaigns so you can stand out in that inbox. So today we're going to talk about planning. That planning is going to be deliverability, scheduling, content, segmentation, all those fun things that go into it. We're going to talk about the sending process, how you test it, how you monitor it, and how you keep on planning after it. And then how you succeed, how we're measuring, how we're reflecting, and how we keep nurturing those audiences. As always, we're going to do a Q&A. That's our favorite part. But we're going to really go through each step so that we can make sure you're ready to get going this season and hit the ground running. And from there, let's hop into a quick overview here. So go for it.
No, go ahead.
Over 50% of respondents want to hear from you at least 1 month in advance of Black Friday via email. I don't know about you, but I get these emails a lot earlier every year. It feels like every year holidays just get sooner and sooner. Bums me out. Halloween's my favorite. It's taken over by Christmas. But at the same time, we give the customers and the users and the contacts what they want, and they want to hear from us. So what good news?
What good news for us, for real. This stat is from our latest Black Friday Cyber Monday survey. And one of our teammates is going to share that link in the chat for y'all to see, but just very cool to get an overview of what users are expecting this holiday season and how email can really derive that.
Absolutely. Definitely worth the read. Okay, so for this webinar, we decided, since we're really mapping out what that Black Friday Cyber Monday looks like, we put together a use case. So we would like to introduce you to Jenny. She works for Paws and Relax Dog Grooming. And she's a one-person marketing team. So many people are. We are all wearing many hats. Jenny needs our help today. So a little overview on the business: 16 employees, 7 groomers. They have 2 brick and mortar locations and a brand new mobile unit. So those dog vans that come and wash your dogs in your driveway. They usually have about 60 appointments weekly and repeat customers every 6 to 8 weeks. They have a 14,500 contact email database. And she inherited a lot of those. And she's the only marketer and manages social media, the website, and email marketing. Not going to lie, this is a real not real. It's a real fake website. pauseandrelaxdoggrooming.com if you want to see it. We really put the work into presenting you a real use case because this is how we all plan against our own businesses. We know our use cases and we develop our campaigns against that. So with that overview.
Wait, before you leave this slide, I just want to call out two very special guests. The two dogs on the skirt. Well, Jenny is, sorry to say, stock photo, but the black lab and what kind of dog is Astra?
Australian Shepherd.
There you go. Those are our actual dogs. So just, you know, yeah, they are very cute. Thank you very much. Just wanted to give them their credit for being the stars of the show today. And Jen.
Absolutely.
Okay. So first, we're going to start with planning. It's Virgo season, by the way, if anyone forgot, and Virgos love to plan. So how appropriate. You know, I always say, start with your goal. Before you do any kind of campaign planning, start with your goal. What is it? What's going to define your success? While we were actually planning this, Natalie said a great quote, which was that it's easier to take something apart than to put it back together. And, you know, it's kind of true. So break it down and start with your goal. And that could be anything you want to accomplish. Engagement, sales, subscriptions, visits to your website, all of that. And what is that definition of success? Like, how are you going to measure it? You also want to define your stakeholders. Might be just you, might be a cross team. Mine may be Natalie. You know, it doesn't, we need to update our slides apparently. I thought I said 2024. We are heading into 2026.
I think it's just our copyright in the bottom left-hand corner.
I thought I misspoke. So, and then what do you need to get your campaigns out the door? So you want to lock in your audience and your segments. You want to start with your goal. Who of your audience fits that goal, and how are you going to communicate that to the audience to show them why it's worth their while? You know, gather your creative assets. So that could be GIFs, illustrations, product stills, you know, anything that could be. Stuff I often bug Natalie for, or our design team for. So you want to work towards that. What do you need to get the things going? You want to build your emails, write your email copy. Do you need a new landing page? Does it need to be created by someone else? And make sure you're coordinating across channels. How can this collaborate with your social media team, with your content team? Mapping out the time of your sends is a huge thing as well, because we'll get into it later, but traffic control and sending at the right time with your audience is key. And let's be honest, what do you need to get your campaigns out the door? More time in the day. I agree. Okay, the next one is a big one, and we've talked a lot about it before. Natalie, you want to dive in here?
Always. We'll never stop talking about it because it's fundamental to your success in any email campaign, but definitely this time of year is something to focus in on. Authenticate your sending domain. We have a ton of references for you. We have demos on how to do it. We've done webinars in the past. Our handy helpers and supporting cast members are going to be dropping those links in there, but make sure that you're protecting your brand and your send by authenticating your domain name with the SPF DCAM and marks. Clean up your contacts. We want to make sure we are not sending to hard bounces. We want to make sure we're not sending to people who haven't engaged in years. Those engagement rates really matter. They impact us. You want to make sure you have that one-click unsubscribe in all of your email marketers. Most ESPs, especially Mailjet, take care of this for you automatically, but make sure it's there. It is a requirement, and it can hurt you if it's not there. And then you need to warm up your email send. This means you're not waiting until Black Friday for that big email blast. You're starting before. You want to slowly increase your send over time so that you're not raising a red flag with inbox service providers. If you wait, and then just send out a huge email blast, that gives you a little bit of a spam vibe, and we don't want to do that. We want to ease our audiences into it. We want to tell the inbox service providers that we are trustworthy, and we do that by all of these. We do that by not sending to blocked or disengaged users. We do that by making sure that we have the option to unsubscribe in our emails, and we do that by authenticating our sending domain and protecting our brands. So it kind of rolls up. Warming up that email send is very important, but make sure you hit 1, 2, 3, and 4. Those are the deliverability fundamentals. Again, you can deep dive into this. We've talked about it a ton. Webinars, we have tutorials on our documentation page on how to do it if you're unfamiliar with it. And it can seem intimidating, but I promise you it's not. Very, very important. And I will continue to be a broken record on that.
I think we all are, because it's the most important. It's fundamental. We also to give you a little visual. I'm a visual person, so it's like, what is warming up your send? You don't want to do the left side of the screen here. The low, 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 high, spiky send, low, low, low. You want to slowly ramp up. I thought that Okay, so how do they do that exactly?
Yeah, how do we do it? Well,
go ahead.
So we want to start with smaller groups, right? We want to start with small, engaged, highly engaged users. We can look at our past statistics to do that, and we can use one of the most powerful tools in email marketing, segmentation, to figure out who those highly engaged contacts are. Now, ahead of the holiday season, we have a lot of fun content we can play with, depending on your region and what's super important. It's pumpkin spice latte season if you're that kind of person. It's fall photos. People are taking Christmas portraits. We've got Halloween in the mix. There's a lot of small things to really bring them in to start ramping up your send. And you can do this with segmentation. Figure out who is the most engaged in your audience. Start small and slowly build over time with those audience levels. And again, you're just going in there and you're saying who has clicked in the last 90 days or opened in the last 90 days. And you're refining your audience that way as you build these sends, starting at least a month in advance of Black Friday, as our users said they want. But even earlier is encouraged. We always encourage maintaining that send year round, because that does really make you look like a strong sender to our inbox sending providers, gives you strong data, all of the above. But if you're not someone who sends over summer, do it. But also, now is a great time to start warming those up. So we're going to hold back on those cold and interactive contacts for a separate re-engagement strategy before we actually blast out to them. And then we're going to keep an eye on those performance metrics and refine the segments through the warm-up phase. So I would call all of September the warm-up phase, and probably the first 2 weeks of October as well. So you've got a good 6 weeks to really build this up. You don't want to overwhelm any audiences, so we want to make sure we're pulling out people who've maybe gotten too much. We're not sending to people 15 times a week. But as we create smaller sends, we can ramp up to that big Black Friday event that we're all preparing for.
Exactly. I just want to note too, it's never a good idea to like spiky send, where you're you want to send consistently all year round, just for your own reputation, but especially as you're going to be increasing your send during the holidays. That's what we're talking about. Warming it up by ramping up.
Yeah. We always want you to engage year round with your contacts, regardless of your industry. There's a way to do it. But yes, let's ramp up for Black Friday, because we're going to be sending a lot more.
Yeah.
Okay.
Cool.
So what are Jenny's plans, Julia? What is she doing this holiday season?
Jenny's got a lot of goals here. And actually, when we were planning this, we came up with like 6 goals for Jenny and what she could do with them all. Natalie and I were fully ready to start our own mobile dog grooming business if we were, in the same city, but we'll leave it to Jenny. What?
Or even the same country.
Yeah, that's true. New name, new move, So for Jenny's goal, what we're focusing on this time around is she wants to increase recognition and secure at least 50 appointments between November and December for the mobile grooming service. And so we're starting with her goal. Now we're going to go into her action plan. So she is going to segment based after she segments most engaged contacts, she's also going to look up or kind of segment who has booked between 1 and 3 times in the past year, subscribers who have never made an appointment, and customers who live beyond a 10-mile radius from one of their brick and mortar stores. I chose these because maybe they couldn't find the time to bring their dog in to one of the brick and mortar stores. So that's why they only booked between 1 and 3 times. They've never made an appointment. Again, maybe they couldn't come in, they couldn't find the time. And then 10-mile radius, maybe it's too far. And so, it's something that you're offering them a new service now. This is brand new. Maybe this is the time to get them actually as like a consistent customer. When it comes to and for segmentation, she may not want to include, actually shouldn't include November and December already booked appointments for the brick and mortar stores. Reason being, unless she's offering them to switch their appointment to mobile grooming, you don't want to confuse your audiences. They'll say, well, I already have an appointment. Why am I receiving this mobile grooming when I already have an appointment for December 6th? Why am I getting this? It could be confusing to them. It's not the right audience, unless she has in their messaging that she wants that they can switch their appointment. Some messaging ideas. She could say, we're bringing the mobile grooming to you. We're offering a special promotion, 15% off. Pets need to look their best for the holidays too. We miss you. It's, these efforts to show that you're bringing them something that is unique to your business. They obviously have some sort of rapport with you because they're your most engaged. And so you're showing that you want to get them back. For her campaign assets, she's going to need a landing page advertising the discount, a form to book an appointment, email copy, a new template, and then social and website updates. She's going to get this message out there. The 15% off is going to be that big hook. That's not something else she's promoting on the website for normal brick and mortar appointments. So it's kind of like get your foot in the door. And there's great opportunities for personalization here too. You can say, we haven't seen Clifford in 3 months. We miss him. We'll come to him if he can't bring it to us. I find it so funny when companies like Chewy talk to the dog or talk to the cat rather than talking to the human. Yeah, Winnie does need some mail. So thanks for that. Do you agree?
Chewy's marketing campaign is strong.
They're so strong. They're so strong. However, for personalization, I personally would not mention you live 12 miles from one of our stores. Did you know we offer mobile grooming? Because that's a little creepy. But you're using what you have to your advantage, but at the same time, you're not being creepy about it. Timing, like we said, this is an opportunity to be a good series of emails, which we'll show you later. So we're going to start in early October because you want those November and December appointments to book up. So it's both urgency, but an opportunity for them to get a discount, which is a good combination. And just some other notes here. So like we said, she sends weekly newsletter and appointment reminders, so she will ramp up her sending. Her domain's already authenticated and the website is real, by the way. So cool for that. And then she had validated her list with email validations. 2,500 had to be removed due to being undeliverable, which means they couldn't connect to their inbox. So it's, the validations service couldn't connect to their inbox. So it's a really good tool to use to make sure that you're not damaging your reputation before such a big part of the year.
Shameless plug, Mailjet integrates it directly into your contact list, so you can do it right in there and see the results immediately. So it's not even that hard to do. And again, very, very important. I do it on mine all of the time because I have a lot of email addresses and I forget which ones I've deleted because I send to myself a lot.
Yeah, we recommend usually once a quarter.
Once a quarter.
I do more, but just depends.
Especially on a large send. I would say if you're going to go with a large send, validate your list before.
Right. People leave jobs. People change their email addresses. It happens all the time.
Yeah. Okay, so we just went over a lot on planning. That's a lot of information. We're going to show you a quick demo of what that looks like in action. Before we hop into that demo, we're just going to kind of overview. Keep in mind when you're building, we're going to build templates to be accessible. We're going to use email previews to check how they render in all of the inboxes. We're not going to use generic messaging. We're going to keep consistent with our brand voice and tone, even through the holiday season. And we're going to use direct and clear CTAs. Now, because I'm demoing a large variety of things on how we get ready to send, we're not going to see these. So I do want to call them out. But let's go ahead and screen share. So I'm going to stop sharing this and I'm going to share my demo. Sorry, a little pause. I crossed my fingers. I'm going to hit play for us here. Little intro there. Okay, so we're looking at the Mailjet dashboard. This is obviously where I do all of my send from. And we're going to look at what it looks like to import those brand assets. So we already mentioned you're getting those brand assets. I'm right here taking all of the assets I have for all of my campaigns, and I'm throwing them into the email gallery, and then I'm applying them as a holiday label. This means I'm going to be able to easily find them. Once those are in there, we're going to prepare the rest of our assets. So I have a branded template that I normally use for the rest of the year. Or Susie uses for the rest of the year. And I'm going to kind of alter it a little bit to be reflective of this holiday campaign, just to set up that base template so that I have a jump start for all of my campaigns in my warm up and my Black Friday send. Doing small things like making sure that your logos and your images have all of those URLs, all of those alternative text in there. That will allow you to have that base template of which we're going to jump off and create these campaigns. Now, I'm going through and I'm just prepping these campaigns with the contact lists and then throwing in that template. So as you can see, I now have that branded template and I can start kind of filling it out. What I personally like to do when we have multiple sends is get that one template going in the structure and the layout I like, and then I can duplicate it. So as you can see, I'm filling out that first email pretty quickly. And then I'll go through and duplicate this for each one of my sends, mark it as a draft, and then start editing from there. So I'm picking what fonts I want that are specific to my brand. You can also use our brand kit if you want to just pull it from your website directly to make it even easier. But I can really adjust how I want everything to be, make sure everything's looking great, and make sure that the brand is represented well here before I publish it, review it, and send it, save my campaign, and then start duplicating it. So I have that first one. As you can see, I hit duplicate, and I'm just going to rename it. So I'm going to change the date on that, and I'm going to add draft to it. As you can see, I now have my drafts. I'm now prepared to start working on all of those, but I at least have that fundamentals built out. So this allows me to really start building out those email addresses or those emails without having to start from scratch each and every time. I'm moving really fast because we have so much content to cover. This is recorded. So I'm taking that first one and I'm just updating all the little details in it to be specific to the campaigns that we have already outlined as we're going into this holiday season to get people in with our mobile grooming, right? Our goal was to increase that. So I am updating the content and the copy that has been pre-written, pulling it from a Word doc. And I'm, just making sure it all looks good before I hit those, testing phase. I didn't do email previews in here because of time's sake, but again, always make sure we're testing. We want to land beautifully in the inbox. If you hit that preview and test, it'll take you over to that inbox email preview testing. So you can test everyone. Mailjet plans come with them included, so make sure you're using them. And then I'm going to remove the draft because it's a finished email. Once we've done all of this on all of them, we're ready to schedule our send, right? So we have put in the work, we've done our plan, and then we can schedule the send based on the date we want it to send and the time we want it to send in that time zone. So that really helps us lay that foundation and get prepared in advance to warm up our send and send out for our Black Friday. As you can see, this is where it all begins. So at the very top, oops, I'm going to take it back there real quick. And at the very top of that, I already have that banner for 15% off mobile grooming. It's going to tie together the entire campaign. I also have landing pages as well that have been built in that will take them out. So on this page, if you hit newsletter, it's going to be a contact form where we can gather more information from users. So it really ties it all together around all of the campaign details for the entire season. Again, that was a very quick demo, but kind of helps you show how you can get in there. You can quickly add your assets, build your templates, and get ready. So you're not just doing it kind of tediously one at a one, pull up the image every single time. Get it in there in advance. Build the templates, let them sit, let them bake. Hopefully you don't do it in 5 minutes like I just showed you. It's all disclosure, this took me much longer than 5 minutes because I set up 5 campaigns. Go in there and make sure you're setting those 5 campaigns up correctly. But yeah, this is our quick demo on how we start that planning process for.
Yeah. And you can do, I'm sorry, I'm going to cough, everything within Mailjet, the landing page, the form on the landing page, the confirmation email from the form, then the welcome email via an automation. So just keep in mind that Natalie built all of that just now within Mailjet. You just don't want to
check out what that looks like. If you fill out that newsletter thing, you're going to get the full double opt-in, which is very important during this season. I will delete all of the email addresses that we end up on that list immediately after. So if you just want to get that full experience, that newsletter button does work. So you can see that full cycle. It comes from my domain, pause and relax dog grooming. Who knows? Maybe you'll see me switch careers into product and dog grooming soon.
You never know.
You never know. Okay. So
I'm going to share. Oh, there. Okay, great. You do it. Now that we've gone over all of that, we've reviewed the plans, you can assess your current status. Where are you in your Black Friday, Cyber Monday planning? So you want to go to the polls tab at the top of the chat and just tell us, have you not started yet? Are you still validating your lists? Are you still planning for your strategy and your content? Or are your emails already scheduled or in an automation ready to go? Which if you are set up and ready to go, I am very jealous and good for you. But so tell us in the poll. Again, you can navigate to the polls tab.
Go to that polls tab. We'll leave it open for a while so you can continue vote. But yeah, based on those full planning, we want to know where you're at. Feel free to keep voting. We're going to keep popping it through our content because, as we mentioned, there's so much to cover.
There's so much to cover. We'll share the results too if we have time before maybe the Q&A, so we can all see like how people are doing. We're not alone in this. Okay, now it's time to send. And if you're like me, you always get a little anxious before hitting that send button. I usually schedule everything. It's probably like 10% of the time that I ever hit send, and it actually like send at that time. So just send immediately. It just kind of scares me a little bit. So how can we get rid of that anxiety? You're going to test early and often. Your first send should be to yourself. Always send yourself a test email. And if, like me, I send test emails to a lot of people, even stakeholders of campaigns. You're going to use email previews to check for broken links, rendering issues. Is something looking good on iPhone 13, which I think is what I have, but not on Apple Mail on desktop? Things like that to consider. Make sure your dynamic content and contact properties are pulling in the correct information. You don't want to mix up like the dog type and the name of the dog in a sentence, like, hey, golden retriever, we haven't seen you. So Clifford better, get his haircut or, change things up. It could be embarrassing. You don't want that to happen.
Where's the human name? Hey, golden retriever, we haven't seen you in a while.
Hey, Clifford, it's time for Natalie to get his haircut. Not really that great. And don't forget about A/B testing. So, like with the Mailjet, you can test up to 10 versions of your campaign, which is very cool. But you can test different things, subject lines, obviously, CTAs, links to see if people are actually going to take action on the page once they get there. That's kind of cool. Design, images, no images, plain text, not plain text. Timing is everything, is the adage, send it a convenient time for your recipients. If they live in New York, you don't want to send, or they live in California, you don't want to send it at 9 a.m. Eastern, or they're not going to see it, or they won't see it until later, and then, it doesn't look really great. Traffic control. Make sure you're not sending too much too often. It's going to lead to unsubscribes and spam complaints, and that's not what you want. And like I said, schedule. Everything is able to be scheduled. You don't need to hit send the day of if it helps you feel a little bit better. And then, use automations for timing, for ongoing engagement, help with your reporting. Use automations to your advantage, because there's tons of different ways that you can kind of schedule sends out, trigger them based on behavior, based on visits, based on what your audience is doing or their contact properties. And don't forget to monitor it. This is not a set and forget kind of situation, and that doesn't exist anymore. Did your campaign successfully send? Did you accidentally schedule it for 9 p.m. instead of 9 a.m.? I've done it. We've all done it. You got to catch it. How are the bounce rates and unsubscribe rates? If you're starting to see that they're kind of getting a little up there above those acceptable rates, you got to see is it your list? Is it your content? Like, what is not resonating with them if they're unsubscribing? Does your list need validated more based on those bounces? And are the automation conditions working as intended? Logic gets confusing, in automations. Sometimes what you think will work, it's not exactly what didn't convey to the automation. It didn't, directly translate. So, you want to test your automations, but also monitor that it's working as intended. Maybe a contact property was misspelled, golden retriever was missing 2 E's or something, and it doesn't catch that it's supposed to filter on golden retriever. So that's something that can work, a little mishap that can happen. Okay, so my mouse won't work.
Oh, I gotcha.
There we go.
Okay, so Jenny's sending strategy, right? We just went over the send portion of it, and after she's warming up her send, it's really showtime for her. So this is when our goals really come into play for this season. She's looking to increase recognition for the mobile grooming service and secure at least 50 new appointments between November and December. So this is, we've got everything scheduled. We're ready to go. We've done the warm up, and now we're going to look at our goals. And as Julia mentioned, we're going to monitor our campaigns against these goals so that we can, make tweaks and adjustments as we go. So she has an audience of customers who have booked less than 3 times in the last year and has never made an appointment or live 10 plus miles away from one of their stores. Those are great criteria for a mobile grooming service. Mm-hmm. And so she's planned out to send an email on October 1st, 15th, November 5th, and the 15th. So it's going to really start out with that get 15% off. That's that really motivating factor. And then it's going to build on that through the holiday season. While CTAs and goals are essentially the same thing, messaging and segmentation can vary throughout this to see what those results are going to look like. So we're really going to be watching those statistics as we send those out. Even if we have things scheduled, you can always go back and before that scheduled send date, make alterations to our emails need be based on those statistics. That set it and forget it adage that we've always heard, we're not setting and forgetting these things. We're setting it and then we're monitoring it consistently.
We're watching it like a hawk.
Okay, I'm like consistently and calmly, and she's like a hawk. And then she's going to additionally implement some corresponding emails. So she's going to do an abandoned cart. So if someone is clicking on a contact to view an appointment time, but they didn't actually follow through, and then she's going to do those appointment confirmation emails and appointment reminders. So 1 week prior, 1 day prior. And as we've joked in the past, and if you haven't watched all of our webinars, go watch. Always include parking information for them if they're going into the brick and mortar. Honestly, it'd be a little bit of funny if you included parking information for the mobile too.
That'd be hilarious, like your driveway.
Parking your driveway, we're coming to you.
That's really good.
That's kind of the send strategy we set up for Jenny and her Black Friday for pause and relax dog grooming, and what it would look like to really start to execute and meet the goals that were set out for her.
Mm-hmm. We're setting Jenny up for success, to be honest with you.
We really are.
Which brings us to succeed.
Which is our favorite thing to do. We all love to succeed.
We really do. Okay, so this is now time for reflection, introspection, soul searching. Your campaigns have gone out. How did they perform? Did they, first of all, recommend waiting at least 48 hours until after the send to look at your metrics? Obviously, check to make sure it went out. But then, I think I see this. People kind of are still engaging 24 hours after, 48 hours after. And then once it kind of drifts down the inbox, people are no longer are engaging. So it's like a safe bet. Don't forget to look at bots versus human metrics. You can see in the screenshot, Mailjet, this is an example from Mailjet, that bot clicks are removed and bot opens are removed. So you know exactly who is engaging with your content. It's not a bot who's checking to see if you're spam before it gets to the inbox. They may have that, but it's separated so you can make sure that it's actually getting engaged with the way it should. Which actually, just side note, which makes your A/B testing way more accurate and gives you more statistical significance to when you actually see that people are clicking on that. Can a bot be triggered? Yes, a bot does get triggered first and then a human clicks, but this way you're separating it so you can make sure that you're seeing the human clicks, even if a bot clicked it. And if a human still clicks it, that's a click.
Yep. So you'll get both on those. This is specifically a look at the kind of additional statistics that we provide. So if you have advanced statistics on Mailjet, the top level is always going to be human engagement. The additional statistics will have that total bots removed. And it is additionally, there'll be like 2 clicks on an email. One's a bot, one's not a bot. We're not throwing that out. You'll notice it says 0 here. Again, test data. So it's 0 because I sent it myself and took the screenshot. No bots in my inboxes. But yeah, so we're not throwing out the bot, or we don't throw out the clicks from the actual humans. A lot of that is timing based. A lot of that is IP based. There is documentation on our website if you kind of want to understand how Mailjet does it a little bit more, because it is definitely important to our metrics to understand who it is, or if it is a who.
It is a who.
Is it a who? I feel like
and then lastly, what did you learn about your audience? What content got the most clicks? What got the least? What got the most unsubscribes? It's all relevant. It's all, what's that saying? It's all content. It's all useful information to improve your future campaigns.
I don't know what it's saying. Yeah. All information is good information, right? All data is good. That I don't believe that. Some data is bad data, but all of this information is really good information. Even failure tells you something, right? So if you had a campaign that didn't do well, that's going to tell you something about your audience that is very relevant, which is what I think you were saying.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. What's next, Natalie?
I don't know. So this is not the end of your audience's experience. Black Friday, Cyber Monday happened. We're not hanging our hats up, right? We might have gotten new customers or new subscriptions, but we want to, it's all about retention. It's all about that life cycle of our user. So with the new users, we're going to introduce welcoming and onboarding and nurturing. We also want to send thank yous, tips and tricks. We all love to learn, right? Educational or loyalty focused content. We are sending consistently with our engaged users without overwhelming them, providing them value in each one of those emails so that they stay engaged. So that every year when we're getting to this big season, we're building on our engaged audience. We are sending consistently. Our warm-up periods are natural to us. And then missed connections, abandoned cart opportunities. There's other workflows people can abandon as well, signups or things like that. Mailjet has launched automations, and we continue to launch additional features. So right now we have a little screenshot of our workflow templates that you can kind of kick off with. Stay tuned for some additional features to be added to Mailjet automations very shortly that will help you complete this full life cycle.
Wait, and you should go look at Mailjet's automation. They're just so pleasing to the eye.
Oh, thanks. I mean, I didn't design them, but
they're very well done.
Yeah, it's saved night and day.
Night and day.
I'm proud of them. Okay. So 76% of respondents expect a confirmation within 5 minutes after purchase via email over other channels. I think we're all used to this. You make a purchase. If you don't get that confirmation in your email, you're sitting there going, did it go through? Did I just get scammed? So just keep that in mind. Also keep in mind that those transactional emails and those promotional emails might be best to be separated either on a subdomain or a different sending domain or a different API within your ESP, email service provider, so that your transactional engagement doesn't interfere with your marketing engagement. But good thing to know, you want to send those really, really quickly, because otherwise you're leaving us wondering. Don't leave me wondering,
Leaving us wondering. Okay, so now that we've talked about success, we're going to talk about Jenny. How is she measuring success? Listen, I'm a marketer. I don't do math, okay? I don't like doing math. Natalie made me do math this webinar, and here we are. Do you want to go through this because you did this part?
I'm a math nerd. Okay, so we kind of set out the goals, and we had a baseline. We're always measuring against our baseline. Where are we at versus where we want to go, and what is that delta between them? So the current mobile grooming unit had 2 mobile groomers, which average about 12 appointments per week, which meant they had a 35% weekly appointment capacity that was filled up. The goal was to add 50 appointments over November and December, which is 9 weeks. That means an additional 6 appointments per week to hit her goal. So that would total 18 appointments per week because you've got those 2 groomers. And that revenue at approximately $128 per appointment, which you can see the pricing on the website, would yield around $6,000 additional dollars in revenue. Now, these are really important stats to track as we're measuring it, because at the end of the day, it is about how our email campaigns return and drive meaningful results for our business and track our success.
Mm-hmm.
This is kind of a brief overview of how I look at like our baseline, where we're at and where we want to go, and that revenue estimate. Now, once we do the send, have those results, we have that baseline to compare, and we can say success or not quite success and needs improvement, and we can look at our emails and reflect on that and against those data points.
Yes.
So Jenny's next steps as far as email marketing.
I think she should definitely send a thank you email to anyone who made an appointment after the fact too. Not just a confirmation email that they made an appointment, but a thank you for trying the mobile grooming service. She can send a survey for their feedback. How can they improve this new service that they're offering? It's a great way to improve future, not just services, but your campaigns, to make sure you're speaking to your audiences the way they appreciate and will resonate with. For net new customers, she should include them in a welcome series, whether this is sending them tips and tricks of and new product announcements and grooming tips for home in case they need to cut their dog's hair from something, and if it can't get to the grooming, all those different content pieces, she can keep sending them. And then she can also invite them to create a profile for their dog. So you can provide more personalized care and more personalized campaigns. That's what we call a win-win. And then for missed connections who don't book an appointment, keep nurturing them unless they're until they're fully engaged. And if they're fully unengaged, you can kind of remove them from your list. Because like we said, that doesn't help your list at all. All right.
Very surprised. We are like precisely on time. What a wonderful thing. So we want to do a special call out. What did y'all think? We want, if you're we're doing a call out to leave a review. We're going to drop a link in the chat. The first 25 people to leave a review will get a $20 gift card. So a little thank you for coming around. And make sure you check that out. The link will be provided for you. And at this time, drum roll please, we're going to bring back T-Bird for his favorite time of the reason webinar. Words. It's the end of my day.
Favorite time season, galaxy, whatever.
Galaxy. Favorite part of the galaxy. Q&A.
I'm ready for Halloween, y'all. I'm just ready. I'm
First
so
question.
ready.
What is your costume?
I don't know yet, actually. I'm releasing a record that night on Halloween, so I have to figure it out with my band. So we'll figure it out. I'm thinking maybe the Nostromo crew from Alien, but we shall see. So
I did learn.
Anyway,
that you and I have different definitions of ready.
We're getting close. All right, enough about my fun life. Let's talk about Q&A, shall we? Ladies and gentlemen,
before we do, can we share the results of the poll?
Yeah, let's take a look at that really quick. Let's see. Let me pull this
I just also dropped the link in the chat to leave a review. And sorry, I typo. It's the first 25 people to leave a review get a $20 gift card. I confused those numbers. Oh, okay, interesting. Setting up my okay. We love to see it.
Mm-hmm.
Still, okay. Only one person said they're still validating their list. If you have not validated your list yet, y'all, now is the time. If you haven't started yet, now is the time. If you're still planning, now is the time.
Well, and for the 10 people that said you haven't started yet at all, it's snapping.
Will you now? Will you now start?
Yeah. Tell us in the chat if you're ready to start now.
Yeah.
You feel more prepared to start.
Yeah.
Yeah, we were just talking about this on the Deliverability Academy side, on the Mailgun side of the house, and yeah, we were like, all right, everyone, it's getting time. It's almost mid-September.
What are you doing?
Yeah, all we ask is please don't start prepping November 1st and November 20th. Like just do a little bit every day. Just make a task list. Just start going down that list.
Oh man. Okay. So what questions do you have today?
All right, let's bring that up, shall we? All right, pulling up the Q&A. Make sure to upvote the ones that you want answered the most, ladies and gentlemen. Let's see here. And also to my amazing speakers, if you see one that you want to call out, give it a holler and I'll throw it up there. Okay.
Sorry, I was looking at the chat and not the Q&A. I do that every time. And don't forget, if you're go to the Q&A tab and upvote the ones you want. Oh.
Also, shout out to our amazing support team answering a lot of these, actually.
Hold on, I wanted to talk about one that I saw. Okay, wait, this one. This was answered, but I just wanted to share. So will those who unsubscribe from a contact list remain unsubscribed if we use the same contact list for a different campaign? Yes. Natalie, do you want to explain more about the way that works in Mailjet?
Yeah. So, I mean, if a user is unsubscribing from a contact list, they're fully unsubscribed from that contact list. If you're using that same one for a completely different list, they still remain unsubscribed until the user decides to opt back in. So right now in Mailjet, you can have multiple contact lists. If they're subscribed to list A, B, and C, they unsubscribe from B and you send to B to a different campaign, they're not getting that email. and that is just in compliance. You can definitely get in trouble for sending to them. So you do not have to worry about that. If a user is on a list, unsubscribed, no matter when you use that list, they're not getting sent to. And that is very important for your engagement.
Yes.
Good one from Augustine. Thank you, Augustine.
Okay. Oh, I like this one because we don't often talk about code, HTML code, but yes,
a lot.
You can use HTML in Mailjet.
You can actually fully code your entire template in Mailjet and HTML if you wish to do so. We also have in the drag and drop editor a HTML code block. So if you just want certain elements that you can do it in. But yeah, you can also write from scratch MJML. If you're not familiar with that, that's the Mailjet markup language, which is a framework over HTML that is very simple and designed specifically for email. So that would be our expert mode in Mailjet. So yes, you can fully customize HTML within Mailjet.
Cool. Thank you, Josiah. It's a good one. All right, moving on down the line. Okay.
Oh, here, this is a good one. Sorry, I'm passing these all over to Natalie.
No, you're good.
It's about Mailjet functionality, so I just want to make sure we're covered.
Sending campaign to multiple contact lists. So right now in Mailjet, and I'm saying right now because it's a hint, so read between the lines, you can only send to one contact list at a time. So that inherently removes those duplicates. Also, we have our primary key as that email address. So you're going to have that contact in your all contacts section as one email. There'll never be a duplicate. So if you are in, say, automations, then yes, if you're selecting all the lists, we're only going to send it to the one. But in the future, yes, we will do this. Right now, you're sending directly to a list in Mailjet. So just in the future, the answer will be yes. Also, you can always create segments that extract people who have recently received or are duplicates on both lists. So if in our segmentation, you can go in there and say, is on this list or on this list. You can also say is not on this list, so on and so forth with our segmentation. Big changes are coming to our segmentation too. I'm just giving away all of our secrets right now, but this will definitely be possible. Right now, Mailjet only allows you to send to lists, but we do remove duplicates always, so they're not going to be getting double emails from you.
Sorry, I'm picking them all. Do you want to pick any? I'm just going through. This is cool. This is cool.
It's all good. It's all good. Thank you, Rochelle. That was a good one. All right, moving down the line.
Ooh, I like this one. I always answer two, but I like it. And I get to throw Julia under the
I was about to pick that one, yeah.
To keep our sender health, should we aim sorry, I saw something in the chat, the GIF. To help our sender health, should we aim to have the same time and or days for scheduled emails, or is it only frequency that is important, regardless of which emails where? Example, e-blasts on the third Tuesday at 10 a.m. each month versus e-blast on a random Tuesday throughout the month. I think it's consistency is key, and not sending like 10,000 emails one week and then three to three people the next week, and then another 15,000 the following week. So you want to, obviously, I don't know your current strategy and how often you're sending, but I would make sure you're consistently sending to your engaged audiences to improve your sender or to maintain your sender health. I don't think it's like you're surprising. It's like a random Tuesday. I don't know. I think you should send consistently so it's not so spotty. I don't think they're looking at, oh, this person sends every Tuesday at 10 a.m. so they are legit. It's more that like you're sending consistently, you're getting engagement. You've done all the right steps prior to send so that your deliverability is maintained, and then so that you're authenticated.
I would almost say this is a great way to test engagement times too for your specific audiences that are in different regions, varying those times.
Yes.
Good one, Kevin. Thank you for that.
I have another one. I just answered yes. Oh, fine. I just wanted to throw this up here. Absolutely, yes, you can. The history of the opens and clicks is associated to the contact, which lives in all contacts. So even if you delete all of your contact lists, they're all still in all contacts and you can rebuild from there. So yes, it will retain all of that.
Sweet. Thank you, Steve.
I wanted to share this one because this is common. We know Black Friday topics. So, because that's fine. That is fine. Maybe your busy season is not Black Friday, Cyber Monday, holidays. Apply this to whenever your busy season is, or just all year round, to be honest with you. These are great takeaways. I was telling Natalie, I feel like we're just condensing all of the the fundamentals of email for this one. But then just saying okay, but do this more during the busy season. Be more careful, send a little bit more to ramp up your send, make sure you're staying safe. So apply this to whenever your busy season is. And I had a peek at your business from your profile, and I do think, there are some, people like a vacation once in a while, they need it during the holidays. They need to relax and blow off steam during the holidays. There's some options there that you could do.
Yeah, piggyback off of that, especially on the here's from the deliverability side of the house, but from the Mailjet side of the house, when we were talking about this from Deliverability Academy last week, yeah, we were highly encouraging folks to hey, send content, and obviously possible discounts or looks like you're related to resorts and stuff like that, Kevin. So obviously keep the content coming, what your people want to see, what your viewers want to see, obviously, and they'll still keep engaged. But yeah.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Gosh, these questions today, you guys are good.
So many good ones. I love the questions.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, what else? Tons of them.
I'm gonna do this one. Could you advise on the recommended email frequency to contacts in order to minimize unsubscribes while maximizing open and click rates? How many emails per week are considered most effective? We got this question a lot today. I know you're going to hate this, and I'm sorry to say it depends, which I think is very common in the email industry to say, but it does depend on your audience. You may have to test what email frequency they like, what content they like, to find that right balance. So as you're getting people through the door, kind of nurturing them, you can test too, these people are going to get emails every week where only one email a week versus these people who are getting 2 emails per week. Who is more engaged? Who is unsubscribing more? It's a trial and error, and you just have to fit it to your brand. Also, what do you have to offer, and how often do you want to get that out there in front of your audiences? What is best for them?
I would even go to say it probably can sometimes come down to the individual person. For segmentation is going to be really helpful. You can see how often they clicked and when they clicked, and kind of create segments around that to help tailor sending times and frequencies too. Because I know if a company emails me too much on one particular week because I'm overwhelmed, I'm but another week I might be fine with it. So. Okay.
I just want to keep going.
I think we can do one more really quick. Thank you, Rochelle.
Natalie, you want to pick the last one?
I'm trying there. I just want to reach out to everyone and answer. Oh, there's so many ones.
Can we stay on longer? I do want to say, Kevin wrote Mailjet webinars have the best chats, and I do agree with that. Not to toot our own horn, and to echo Natalie, we do have the best audience. We really do. Hold on, what's this one? We have stage stream.
Yes, there. I'm looking at the chat now. Yes, there is a way to download the click data for analytics within Mailjet, and most ESPs allow that as well. There we go. Yes, that is available. There's going to be an export button that'll allow you to do that within the statistics, and you can export on a very micro scale within Mailjet's statistics specifically. So you can just download the block, you can download the click analytics, all of that, so that you can get in and you can set up your own custom Excel spreadsheets if you're Excel nerd, just like I am. So yes, you can, and I don't know if we have a support link for that, but if we don't, I'll find one and we can provide it.
For downloading content or downloading the
click data.
Yeah.
You're going to be able to find it within the click map section in the statistics after you send. There'll be a export button.
Cool.
Okay.
All right. Thank you, David. That was a good one. All right, y'all. Well, you don't have to go home, but you can't stay here, ladies and gentlemen. That's the end of the webinar. Massive thanks for Natalie and Julia for being here with us. Julia, Natalie, where can people follow along with everything you guys got going on in the email world?
The best place to get in contact with me or follow me is LinkedIn. I did just drop my LinkedIn in the chat. You will also just find me under Mailjet if you want to find it there. I love hearing feedback on the product and features desired and all of that. I am a product person, so feel free to reach out. I love hearing from you guys. And yep.
I put my LinkedIn in the chat. It does have my last name, Britter. That is me. Don't worry. Yeah, reach out. I love talking email and ideas of how to improve it and feedback and all that good stuff.
So, absolutely.
Don't forget to leave a review if you feel so inclined to also get a chance to get a gift card. I'm going to drop the link in again.
Make
Free money is fun money.
Subscribe to all of our newsletters because you'll hear from all of us all of the time that way too.
Oh, thanks. Okay, great.
All right, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much for hanging out with us. We'll see you soon. Take care.
Bye.